Let's do shadows of something that's a little more interesting than just vertical lines. We've done shadows of vertical lines on all kinds of different surfaces where the lines were at different angles. So now we have a three-dimensional object, and these could represent anything. They could be buildings. This could be a car. They could be products of some kind. So here's my layout. These are not parallel with each other. And I set up the light angle and the ground line vanishing point here per our last video. And I don't think it's going to work out too well showing this whole thing, but I just wanted to show it to you now so you could see that there's two left vanishing points for each of these boxes, and there's two right vanishing points for the boxes, and these are not parallel with each other, and so they're going to have their own separate vanishing points. So I'm going to just like zoom in on this because it's going to get like little small shapes and it's going to be hard to see from this distance. So I'm just going to bring this in. And you will be able to see from the colors where things are going, and I'll tell you where the vanishing points are and the things that you can't see. So let's do a shadow of this box first. Both of these boxes, they're just a collection of vertical and horizontal lines. So I'm just going to start with the closest one here. So here's a vertical line. This is just like a flagpole, and this is going to the ground line vanishing point. And then it does that until the light angle. This is going to the light angle vanishing point. When it hits this, that is the end of the shadow of this vertical line. Then we just move our way along the form. So here's a horizontal line that goes to a right vanishing point. That means the shadow of this also goes to the same right vanishing point. And then you don't always need to do ground lines and vanishing points for every line. You're just looking for intersections. So I have this line down on my paper. I just need an intersection of this corner. So I'm going to take a light angle from that corner. And there is the shadow of that corner. Then we have a horizontal line that goes to the left vanishing point. So the shadow of that is going to go to the same vanishing point. And it'll keep going until it hits this corner. But I can see from my light angle and the size of this box that you are not going to be able to see this corner. This corner, the shadow of this corner is behind the box. So here's the shadow of this box. This surface is in shadow. Okay, so that's the easy one. Now we have this one. And this is the same thing. It's just a collection of vertical and horizontal lines. So I'm going to start from the left and work my way over to the right. So this is a vertical line. This is just like a flagpole. So I'm going to go from the ground line vanishing point through the bottom of this flagpole, and it keeps going until it hits the light angle, and there's the end of that shadow. That is that point. And now we have the shadow of a horizontal line that goes to a left vanishing point. So this shadow is going to go to that same vanishing point. It's going to look like this. It's just a little short thing until it hits this box. And right there, and like then what? We have the shadow of this corner. And so this is the shadow of a horizontal line on a vertical surface, and they're not parallel with each other. So we're into that place of looking for endpoints. We need find the shadow of this point. And if we have one endpoint, we need to find another endpoint. It'd be really nice if we could find one up along this line, and then you just connect those two. Okay, so let's do the shadow of this vertical line. So here's a flagpole, here's another flagpole, and from the bottom of this, we're going to make a ground line. And it comes along here, and whoa, it hits this vertical line right there. Well, I'm looking a little closer. Maybe it'd be a better sample. And I'm thinking it's really close. Hard to tell exactly where it's hitting. But I'm going to say it hits here. So it'll be a better example if it hits here. And I think it's doing that. Okay, so it hits here. And then the shadow of this line hits here. And this is a vertical surface, and this line is vertical. So the shadow of this, it would run straight up this until it hits this point. And now we have the shadow of this vertical line going along a horizontal surface. The top of this box is just like the ground plane. It's just a horizontal surface. And see, like this vertical line, the shadow of that ran to the ground line vanishing point. And so the shadow of this, when it hits this vertical surface, it is also going to run along the ground line vanishing point. And it's going to keep doing this until it hits the light angle hits it. And so here is the top of this flagpole. And there is the end of the shadow of this vertical line. Okay, so back to this one, this is a horizontal line that goes to this left vanishing point. And this is a horizontal surface, just like the ground is, just horizontal surface. So shadows of horizontal lines that are parallel to the ground, the shadows of those go to the same vanishing point as the line does. So this goes to left vanishing point, so the shadow of this goes also to left vanishing point. It's really skinny little lines there. And so it goes along here, then it hits this surface, and I have an endpoint, and I have an endpoint. So you connect those two. Here's the shadow so far. Okay, so this is the shadow of these three lines. And then here's another horizontal line, goes to right vanishing point. So the shadow of this also goes to right vanishing point. And it keeps going until the light angle hits it. And if I do this, well, the light angle hits it off of this surface. So this would be the end of the shadow. It will look like this. So, is this done? I wonder if this line shows up. This is just another vertical line. And if you see through this, draw through this box, you see the bottom of this flagpole hitting the ground there. So I think I'll just switch colors here and use green for this ground line. So it's going along the floor, and it keeps going along the floor until the light angle hits it. And here's the light angle. And so the light angle hits it right there behind this box. So this is done. This, of course, all of this surface is in shadow. And this surface, shadow. Fun. It gets a little complicated. So that is the shadow of this box onto this box. And it's just following those same rules we talked about earlier with the parallel light. We just have a bunch of vertical lines and horizontal lines, and this is probably the trickiest one in this whole thing. The plane of the top of this box is just like the ground. The same rules apply. It's just a horizontal surface, just like the ground is. So that's it. Maybe we could do more of these. We'll talk about negative light next time.